Kemira's full year 2022 results have been just published. Our head of Investor Relations is here giving us a short summary of the year. Hello, Mikko.
Hi, Tiina.
Kemira had its best year so far. What were the reasons behind?
Well, indeed, as you said, so Kemira had a record strong year on many fronts, and particularly the Q4 performance was exceptionally strong. And for the full year last year, so we did report record high revenue and also record high operative EBITDA. And really the reason behind this strong performance was higher sales prices, as we have worked hard to mitigate the impacts from the unprecedented inflationary pressures that we saw during last year. And in terms of sales prices, we did see particularly high sales prices for energy-intensive products, so our pulp and bleaching chemicals, especially for caustic soda, which is one significant product that we sell mostly to our pulp and paper customers here in Finland. And overall, I would say we are pleased that despite the challenging market environment, our operative EBITDA margin, so the relative profitability, that was within our financial target range of between 15 and 18%. Now going to our segments, they're both performing very well, and we had excellent performance in 2022 in both pulp and paper and industry and water, and actually both segments did report record high revenues and record high operative EBITDAs during the year. And in terms of the underlying demand, we did see solid demand in pulp and paper during the first half of the year. In Q3, we did see that the demand started to slow down, and this continued also in Q4. In terms of industry and water, so that is mostly water treatment. That is by nature a very resilient market, and there we had good demand in 2022. Whereas in the oil and gas business and the oil and gas market, there we saw strong demand growth, partly due to the very high oil prices that we saw during the year.
What were the strategic highlights of the year?
Well, as you know, so profitable growth is our key strategic focus area. And obviously from that perspective, last year was very strong with the high organic growth that we saw. But if I were to mention one concrete strategic highlight, I would bring up our new growth accelerator unit that we established last year. And the aim of this new unit is really to accelerate the commercialization of new bio-based products on our way to reach our bio-based revenue target of 500 million euros by the year 2030. Also partly related to this is the fact that our balance sheet is very strong. So our net debt to operative EBITDA metric is at a record low level. And why is this important? Of course, a strong balance sheet enables us to look for growth opportunities, whether it is organic or inorganic growth. And one concrete example from our acquisition, a sort of ambition, was announced in January this year, although it was a small acquisition, but we announced that we will acquire Sim Analytics, which is a Finnish startup, and this will then strengthen our service offering. As a second highlight, I would bring up our commitment to the Science Based Targets climate initiative last year. So we committed to that in June. And at the same time, we updated our climate target for emissions from our own operations. So we call these the Scope 2 emissions. And our target now is to reduce these emissions by 50% by the year 2030. And this is then in line with limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees.
Very good. So what is Kemira's outlook for 2023?
Well, firstly, our businesses, or both segments, are performing very well. Of course, if we look at the sort of outside world, there is significant uncertainty related to the macroeconomic environment, energy prices, and the war in Ukraine. So overall, our expectation is that the end market demand in volume terms will decline somewhat during this year. But then on the other hand, sort of variable costs, we do expect them to decline during the year, which should then benefit us. So overall, I'd say we are in a good position going into the new year, and sort of the official outlook for 2023 is that we expect our revenue to be between 3.2 and 3.7 billion euros. And for the operative EBITDA, we expect that to be between 500 and 600 million euros for the full year 23.
Thank you for the outlook, Mikko. And then moving forward, one of the hot topics is surely the dividend proposal.
Yes.
The invitation for annual general meeting has also been published today, and board's proposal is new high for the dividend 62 cents per share. After 3 years, we are delighted that we are able to hold a physical meeting. It will be webcasted, so alternatively you can follow it online. Registration will start on 21st of February. All the detailed instructions are found on our specific AGM website. So at this point, thank you for the interview. And
Thank you, Tiina.
It's time to end our result studio. So thank you for watching.
Thank you.